positive way. Drawing, painting, and enjoying every day. It all begins with life, with art.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Drawing with Life with Art. So today we're going to work on this project right here. I call it a beautiful design castle with a bubble background. Notice that the castle is white with the black lines, a lot of details, and then the background is colored in. And so that will be our final result of this picture. And even though it looks really detailed, I'm going to take you step by step so you know exactly what to do. We're going to think about this like blocks, how blocks are built on top of each other. And then we're going to go from the large shapes to the medium shapes to the very fine details. So to start, we're going to start towards the middle of our paper, and we're going to basically stack blocks or stack shapes in the center. So I'm going to start with a rectangle. I'm going to add another rectangle to that. Excuse me. And then we're going to do a smaller rectangle up top. Okay. And then I'm going to create a dome shape at the top. So a half circle. Again, we're just starting with very, very basic shapes. I'm going to do another rectangle over here. So I'm overlapping now this front part of my castle to this back part. Maybe do another rectangle here and then a rectangle up top. So think about blocks stacking on top of each other and balancing up there. Maybe I'll do even a triangle up here. And I'm going to spread it out to this side. Now these shapes that I'm doing, you could follow along with me or you can create your own. This is your unique castle. So I want you to feel like you can do any of the shapes that you'd like to do to make your castle unique to you. And then I think I'm going to put a dome up here at the top. Alright, so here are my larger shapes. Now what I get to do, which is really fun, is I'm going to start adding the medium shapes inside of these larger shapes. So I'm going to think of things like archways with a half circle like that. I'm going to think of the way I could add like interior rooms or interior windows to my spaces by adding more rectangles. Maybe I want to add a row of openings right here, so I'm going to add these medium shapes and then maybe a rectangle on top of that. Okay. Maybe for one of these spaces I want to add a circle even. That's a neat shape for a building. Maybe a clock will go there or something. Maybe I want to do a large window, so I'll do a large square here. Let's see. Maybe another dome. As I'm going along, I'm just creatively thinking about shapes I'm adding. I'm not really thinking of the end result. I'm just thinking about window space, some doorway space, things like that. Down here I think I'll have a really large door, so I'll do a rectangle, and then maybe even above it a rectangle this way. And finally with this space, maybe I'll do another dome on this side to kind of balance it. See how I balance those two domes here? Maybe I'll break this up and do some smaller shapes upside down. And maybe I'll do rectangles across. Okay? Alright, so now I've done my large shapes, I've done my medium shapes. Now I'm ready to go in and do even smaller shapes or designs. So this is where you could add things like above shapes. You could add lines to show the directions that the shapes are going. This is where you could do little tiny shapes within the medium shapes to add details. So I'm doing some squares here. For this dome area, maybe I want to do other lines across it. Kind of looks like a rainbow at the top, doesn't it? Maybe I want to do another square to do like the frame of a window and then some lines for the window. Inside the window I can even do some lines for the detail of a curtain. That's kind of fun. Maybe down here I want to just do lines like this. And then maybe a couple lines across. Let's see, what else can I do? Oh, I think I want some smaller shapes here, maybe even circles inside of it. You really can do anything that feels creative to you at this point. This is about designing and making a lot of unique lines throughout your castle. So really what I'm doing is going space by space, adding lines, details, and shapes to my design. Maybe this will be a door with a neat window. Oops, hope you can see that. Maybe I want to do a design inside of this part with some extra details of windows. Because this is the entrance, so I want to kind of make it pretty special. And maybe I'm going to break this up and do a couple of windows at the top of the doors. Alright, at this point I am going to stop. I basically showed you the best way to design this with the larger shapes, the medium shapes, and the details. I'm going to move forward and continue to draw this castle, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we can design the background and start coloring in that background in the next video. Thank you for watching.